What's up, everybody? This is my first deck profile, I think, for my DN decks. I've been testing this one a lot. It's been working pretty good, so I finally chose to do a deck profile on it. It's Rockstun, and I'm going to explain the deck, so hope you guys like it. First off, 3 copies of Koa'ki Guardian. He's basically a Doom Cow, but you get to pick when to activate his effect. You don't have to use it by force. I think he's a lot better than Doom Cow when it comes to actually using them in a certain type of deck, but Doom Cow beats him because, actually, I don't know. I've always wondered who's better now the more I think about it, because this guy does get to pick when he wants. You get to pick when you want, sorry. And Doom Cow happens right away. And so when you have this guy, you don't have to worry about summoning out another monster and activating their effects because it won't do anything to him. But if you try to summon out Doom Cow and then you try to summon out something else, if you try to activate something, your Doom Cow will go off. So that's kind of a first rule type of thing if you think about it. No one should be summoning out other things that activate effects while you have Doom Cow on the field. So I run 3 of these guys because he helps out a lot. Sandman is freaking awesome. I run 3 copies of him. If you don't know what this one does, he's Doom Cow but for traps only. You summon him out, they try to bottom this, you just tribute it away, so at least you don't lose him from removing from play. He gets rid of deep prisons, mirror forces, anything that's not a counter, obviously. So he's pretty awesome as well. This guy is the version of these 2 guys, but for spells. 3 copies of him. Koa'ki Wall. He's good first turn because people tend to activate magic cards first turn or effects. But mostly what I've seen people try to do with magic as well. So if you go against Dark World, this guy's a good setup. Trying to go against like a tour guide opening up deck, you go after this guy. Depends on who you think you're playing, or if you know second game, you know who to open up with first if you draw him out. This guy, I've gotten rid of Reborns and Mystical Space Typhoons. You tribute negate the activation of you just tribute him to get rid of a magic. You got Reborns, Mystical Space Typhoons, Heavy Storms, things like that. Dyna, he prevents special summoning. I run 3 of them. He's awesome. Very, 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 very powerful when they summon the whole field. Like I remember. The best thing I've ever gotten with this guy was when I went to regionals in Los Angeles, my first one. I was playing anti-meta at that time. Heavy Storm was banned, and I remember Giant Tree with heavy back row format. I was playing against Hopeless Dragon deck. They had 5 monsters on field. I only had Dyna because they already did the whole Phantom Chaos copy Norelis. They attacked this guy face down, popped his Dark Creator, his Red Eyes, his Dark Horse. It's awesome, man. This guy is pretty good too, especially in this deck when you already have a lot of monsters on board, and you know you can go for the win. Summon him out. They can't gores. They can't do anything. The only thing they can do is scrap that swift fast scarecrow or whatever that you discard instead. You attack for 1200, which isn't much, but I'll explain more in this deck right now. Block Golem is awesome. He's basically a +1 with rocks. You already use up a lot of these guys a lot, so you tribute him or send him to the grid. I think it's a send or tribute him. You summon 2 level 4 or lower rock types. Most of the time I get this guy and this guy out, depending on the situation, obviously. But mostly I get these guys, and if I know for a fact they're gonna special summon next turn, I use Dyna because even though their effects are negated for that turn they're summoned, I think they're negated for that turn. The only monsters in your graveyard or earth, you tribute him. You can tribute this card to target 2 level 4 or lower rock type monsters in your graveyard, except block golems. Special summon those targets, but their effects that activate on field cannot be activated this turn. One problem I'm always had with this, I don't understand, is Dyna doesn't really activate, so is Dyna effect active when he's summoned? Can someone please answer me this, because I ask around, people don't know, or people are unsure, so I don't know, I'd really like to know, So this guy, yeah, if summon out one of these guys in a Dyna, if Dyna's effect's still active, and makes it even more crazy to do. I think that sucks though. I guess I'll explain more when I get to the XYZs. But he helps with the XYZs as well. I mostly go for Pearl, since he's a rock type, and he's 26 attack, which is pretty good. I'll explain more later. Jujutsu Master is awesome. I used to run 3, but now I run 2. He's really annoying. He's hard to get over sometimes, especially since this format. People do use Doom Cows and Thunder Kings, but most of the time they've been using like 17, 16, 15 beaters to attack. They -1, it goes back top of their deck. They don't know what they can draw anymore. I mean, they know what they're going to draw, and you know what they're going to draw, so you know they're not adding any new cards to their deck. And he's also a desperate move when it comes to summoning this guy out. You get 2 of these guys in defense mode and you got a wall right there, basically. And 1 Grand Mole. It'd be nice if we could have more than 1, but Grand Mole is pretty awesome. You summon him out with his effect too. If you know he's going to get attacked, you just bounce him back, and they get bounced back as well, so there's nothing to worry. There's no worry. Though, if you attack with him the turn you activate his effect, you can't activate his effect, so you would have to wait until their turn. So it isn't too bad. And I like the setup where you're basically negating all their magics and traps, and then he's the only monster on field you attack. They try to attack, you bring it back, you do it again, and keep doing it over and over again until you basically poke him dead with 900. So that isn't too bad. 2 dualities, since now you can have 3. Since this deck rarely special summons except for this guy and Monster Reborn. That's really good in this deck, and helps you give rock types to your hand just in case you can't get any for these guys. So 1 Reborn. It's kind of obvious. You reborn like this guy. If you reborn him, you get 2 more back. You summon him normally. Tributes. Summon 2 rock types. And Monster Reborn. Do it again. Isn't too bad. 3 MSTs. A lot of back row hate. I hate back row with this deck. Even though he kind of gets rid of the traps, it's still always good to leave a good clear field. Summon him out. Does the trap activated? Fine. Tribute him. Use the leftover MSTs on the face downs. Heavy Storm staple, Dark Hole staple. Solidarity makes everybody in this deck beaters except for him. I don't know why you would want to make him in the beater. You want to give his effect. All these guys turn into 27s. He turns to 2 grand. He turns into 18, 21, and 17. Especially with him, he's awesome. Most monsters that special tend to be higher than 2,000. So there's not many 4 lower levels that have 2,000 attacks. So he gets to protect himself. He doesn't have to rely on other traps or other monsters to protect him. So Solidarity is awesome, especially when you have 2 on the field. They're freaking more than that. They're 35 beaters, I think. 35, 16. Yeah, they're 35, 35, 35, 35, 28. Yeah, you get the idea. It's awesome. Forbidden Lance. I don't really use this card that much, to be honest, but this card does help out a lot, especially when they're trying to bait you out with like dark holes or something. They want you to negate, or they want you to negate like a certain magic card or something. You just use him and use this card, and also if you want to, most of the time I think when I use this card, I did it for gain because I would attack. My attacks are not high enough, so I use this and I attack it. I rarely use its protective qualities of it. Like I try something out like this. They try to torrential. I activate it on him. Obviously, I just keep him on the field. I don't do anything else with it. Well, yeah, of course I would still attack, but for 400, 400 is nothing, so I might as well attack. But this helps out a lot. But even though I use it more for offensive purposes, meaning I'll use it if I want to get over somebody. So Bottomless, this is to protect all these guys, this one, this one, this one, this one, so I want to keep them on the field longer. I activate this, especially with Dyna. I love Dyna. People try to get rid of it ASAP. I'm like, hell no. Get rid of it. Get rid of the monster you're trying to summon out. So Solemn, awesome card. Who wouldn't run Solemn Judgment? 1 Phoenix Chain. That's for monsters that are like really big, or if I have 2 of these guys on the field and they're trying to bait one of them out, and I destroy it, then they try to attack with the other one into him. I just activate Phoenix Chain, and he's at least protected for that turn. So it isn't too bad. And I guess it's for like when they try to bait you out and they try to attack directly, you just use Phoenix Chain and it helps you out a lot. I don't like Phoenix Chain, but it's another Forbidden Lance, same thing. I don't like both of those cards that much, and I'm using it in this deck and it worked out pretty good. These used to be Starlight Roads, but to be honest, Stardust would ruin my graveyard. But it's weird because and honestly, it's worth it. Summoning out Stardust and things like that. But like Solidarity, it makes Solidarity a dead card, and I really can't do much. I can't activate his effect either because they all have to be Earth. It's the only monster in your graveyard are Earth. Yeah, they all have to be Earth, and I can't have that going on. So I have to freaking use Dark Bribes instead. And it's cool with Dark Bribe because if they try to bait me out with a shitty magic card, shitty trap card, I just Dark Bribe it. They're gonna use that card effect. I'll just use these guys to negate it. So it isn't too bad. Meteor Force, same reason why to protect these guys if I know they're going to run them over. 2 of them. 2 prisons, same thing, same exact reason. So, deck helps out a lot. It sucks though. I noticed that I tend to draw just 1 monster and then a bunch of magics and traps, which isn't too bad, but oh well. And another thing too, I never really liked Dark Bribe either, but now I'm using it. 3 cards that I never thought I would use. I'm using Lance and Dark Bribe and Phoenix Chain. They do help out a lot. This is better than Starlight Road because it's a counter. Mostly people just run Solemns So, you know, when you get rid of that one counter, at least Dark Bribe can help you out a lot. So, now for the side deck, I use 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors, Dark World, any type of dark deck, Light Imprisoning Mirror for, oh my god, I can't even say, for light swarms, any type of light deck that gets in the way, Mind Crush for people that use duality or add cards to their hand. Since I want to use Ryo in this deck, but he's a Thunder, you know, it kind of messes up Solidarity, so this kind of helps me pretend like I have a Ryo on the field, but really not. Since I know what's on their hand, I just activate this. Summon Limit, since I rarely special summon 5 billion times a turn, Summon Limit helps out a lot. They try to summon out Tour Guide, that's one summon. Summon out Sangan, that's another summon. You're done for the turn. You can't XYZ, nothing. So this one helps out a lot as well. Book of Moon should be in the main deck, but for some reason it's fine here, so I just use it there. Appropriate, I forgot what I use Appropriate for. I think it was for Dark Worlds, Exodia decks, anything that helps you draw. Basically, I use this, and I just keep getting my hand bigger. I forgot. There's a reason why. I'm trying to remember other reasons too, but I'm trying to remember, but I forgot. 2 Crevice monsters. This format tend to have a lot of the same attributes. You know, they try to use Necrogarna. You just activate that. Not activate Necrogarna. Like it's their turn, they mill like a lot of cards, and you just activate that, get rid of their Gardna, so they can't negate 3 times a turn. So Solemn Warning, same reason why Bottomless and these guys are there to protect everybody else. But it's kind of dumb with Dinah, since he's already solemn by itself. But you know, extra protection doesn't hurt. And 1 Dark Bribe for extra protection as well. Okay, so now for my extra deck. 3 Gemini Pearls, he's the one I mostly go for, because if I summon anything else, he's going to get ruined. Actually, Daigusto Emerald, I can't wait to get this guy. I would love to start using him in this deck if I ever make it in real life. So this guy would help out a lot, reload my hand, and he also be a 26 beater if I have Solidarity. But anyways, Gemini Pearl comes out with 34 beater, really good. It runs over everything this format. The only monster I ever really have problems with, if people use Fable Dark Worlds, they summon out the big Fable Leviathan. Oh, dude, I can't. Well, he's 33, so it wouldn't matter. But that's like the biggest monster I've fought so far, and I think that's probably the biggest I will. But who knows? Format's still young, so who knows what other type of decks I'll be running into. So he's a rock type and beat stick, and you can make him easily just with this guy, unless they're already beaters themselves, and it wouldn't matter. 2 Utopia. Another reason, like for the rest of XYZs except for Daigusto Emerald, I use them when I'm about to win, or if I need the protection for sure, or Solidarity is already gone. That's the only time I ever use them. Good for negating attack, obviously. My Stroke, same reason. It's a Book of Moon. It'd be counted as 2 Book of Moons if I had a Book of Moon in there. But I thought these are all, like, I guess it's a toolbox. Like if I have to get rid of a big beater and I don't have, but I also need to protect myself for next turn, I use this guy. If I have to get rid of something on the field that's really annoying, I use him as well, because I flip him face down, then I attack over it. Acid Golem, rarely make them, but I do make them. I use him, Block Golem, summon up 2 of these guys, or summon up 1 of these guys, depending. Or if he's dead and he can't do anything, and I have another one of him on the field, I overlay for 3. I was thinking about Leviathan, but no, I'd rather get the attack right there and then, so I use this. Photon Poppy Leoperative, Pepper Leoperative, Photon Poppy, I just use that. Same thing with my Stroke. If there's a monster on the field that I want to know what the face down is, I flip him over. Most of the time I'll try to have him on the field just in case it's like a Raikou or effect monster, just get rid of it right away. Utopia for this guy, obviously. He's need to get rid of when he's already dead. I just summon him out, so I get at least a 25 beater. Shockmaster. I rarely make him as well, but when I do make him, it does help out a lot. I just say magic, and then they can use their magic cards, and I have a bunch of protection in my back, so I don't mind that. And that only goes for cards that have to be activated. Like Solidarity is still active, so this wouldn't get over it. Roach for negating, like for basically like a Dinah, I guess. You get rid of big monsters that they try to summon. One for this guy once, he actually helped out a lot because I had to push for game, and they were defending. I was like, screw it, I'm gonna, I summoned him out, detach all 3, blow up all face-ups. They had no cards in the hand. They had face-up monsters that could protect themselves. Really high beaters, couldn't do anything. No face downs in the back, no back row. take all 3 of them off, blow up the whole face up, all face up monsters on the field, and attack directly. And it helps out a lot. So rarely comes out, but I can actually have to use his effects. I feel like a badass. Yeah. Anyways, fighting this Sigma, since I can't sync, and I love using Catastor. Now this is my Catastor. You get to use them more than once, so it's not too bad. Once again, I rarely use all these guys because, you know, they're all rocks. I don't want to mess up Solidarity. Unless Solidarity's dead, then I don't mind. That goes to Emerald, even though he hasn't came out yet. He's going to be in the deck, and maybe realize that he's a rock type. That's even better. So many. Oh, what? No. Ugh. Sorry, guys. Nope. Well, that was really annoying. I should have clicked on stuff. Okay, anyways. Who's that on? That goes to Emerald. Oh, I was almost done. What the heck? That goes to Emerald. So he's a 26 beater. He's a pot average. Helps out a lot. Also, detached. Sorry, one non-effect monster. You can summon out Pearl, but it'd be kind of. Yeah, you can. That's the only monster you'd be able to target is a Pearl. Summon it out. 26 beater, but that rarely happens. So, and this guy he's also 26 beater. He's kind of like that trap card. I'm trying to remember the name where you target face downs, but they can't activate. And this is cool too because you attack. You summon him out, detach 2, summon this guy out. He rarely comes out as well. Attack. You would detach one of these guys, summon himself out, tribute him, summon out 2 more, keep a scene over and over again, and he prevents magic trap cards from happening. So that's awesome. But you can only activate this card effect when it has XYZ material. So, well, hope you guys liked it, guys. Try out the deck, film it yourself, see how it works for you guys. For me, I don't know. This deck has its up and downs. It does work out a lot with most of the decks because most decks tend to special summon. I remember I would play wind up players, they quit. I would play Dark Roads. Dark Roads, they have a fighting chance, so it kind of sucks. Light Thorns, I tend to get their shit off the field, so they tend to not to go off too much. Let's see who else. Who else does it go against? That's good. Like first match, first round. Samurais, oh, it definitely goes good against Samurais because most of the time I already have Solidarity active, and I'll just keep attacking everybody. And even though they destroy their other monsters for Shein, I can still attack the Shein again and destroy it with something else. And there's other decks too, but I've been finding most of those decks with this deck. So guys, hope you guys like this deck profile. Try it out for yourself, film it, try it in the comments section. What would you add? What would you take out? Any suggestions would be nice because I like to make my decks better. So if someone wants to play against this deck, I'll play one. We'll film it, whatever. I'll probably make more more movies or whatever duels with this deck, so you can see it out for yourself. So, all right, thanks guys, thanks for checking it out, and see you guys in the next video. Peace.